Hello, everyone. My name is Marion with DTM Real Talk Channel. It's the channel that you can tune into, have the ability to listen to the thoughts of others about topics all over the world that touch every one of our lives. Everybody goes through basically the same thing. There is nothing new under the sun. So if you're going through, someone else has already been there. Maybe you can find hope. Maybe it's a pathway that can set you on the right road just by tuning in. So DTM Real Talk, just keeping it real. And if you like it, like us at the bottom, subscribe, and let us know just how we helped you. Just keeping it real. Nothing but love. Good evening. This is DTM Real Talk, and we are just keeping it real. I have Shevelle with me today. Girl, get your fingers out the thing. Get your fingers out the clip.
Okay, good. I had a message up there saying, do I have it? I got it.
She got a message going on, but we are ready to rock and roll. I met this young lady about a month or two ago. Say hi to the good folks out there.
How y'all doing this afternoon? This great afternoon. Not good, this great afternoon.
Look, girl, it's morning all over the world. Morning, evening, noon, night. You must have afternoon. She would say, hey.
Hi, everybody.
Anyway, I didn't officially meet her. I actually heard her speaking to a group of women, and it was such an amazing tidbit of her story. So I didn't hear it all, but I reached out to her because I thought it would be very helpful. So tell the good folks, where were you born?
I was born in Algiers, New Orleans, Louisiana, the West Bank, the best bank. Let me just add that in.
The Blessed Bank. Try to tell people I got some help now. We live on the West Bank, the Blessed Bank.
The best bank. The Blessed Bank.
How long you been in New Orleans, darling?
All my life. 43 years.
Oh, okay. Very well. Very well. You're 43, very well. So siblings, mom, dad, are they around?
My dad just recently passed. My mother is still living. She's 73. I am the baby of 10. 1 boy, 9 girls. My brother passed.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Wow. Oh, wow. Yeah, that's beautiful. Beautiful. So you are the baby of 10. So are you spoiled?
Some people will say, yeah, but I say no. I say no. I just say he saved the best for last.
I can tell you spoiled. I don't think you spoiled. I think you rotten.
Oh, that's what my mama would say. You're rotten, girl.
Yes. So, okay, so 43. So you've had a little time here. So, let's see. Are you married?
I am married. This is my 3rd marriage. Okay. I just recently got married in June 5th. I got married.
Okay.
The love of my life. Let me just add that.
Wait. Now, I asked you if you was married, but we're going to go back so these other folks can get some help from you.
Come on now.
Wait.
Come on.
Okay. So how was the first one, since this number 3? My girlfriend did 3 strikes and you're in.
Yes.
So I guess you're about to say the same thing, huh?
No, this 3 strikes. This is the finale.
Oh, 3 strikes finale. Then that's 3 strikes you're in?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, so what happened with the first one? I'm being all over the world.
Come on. Well, my life is, I am transparent. This is an open book.
Very good.
Scoop right now. So December the 15th, 99, I married my first husband. I was 19. I was in college. I went to Southern in Baton Rouge.
Okay.
I got married my sophomore year. He told me I ain't have to work. I ain't have to go to school. Just come on home. I left that school. At 19, I got a divorce 6 months later. 6 months later.
You did an Eve number, didn't you?
Yeah. I was in and I was out.
Yes, indeed. Okay. So can you tell the good folks out there why you were out?
I was just young, and I thought that's what I wanted. I still was playing the field, but he was giving me everything, and I thank God for him. I always said if I had a second chance just to say I'm sorry to him, I would, because he passed a couple of years ago.
Oh, wow. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Was he in an accident or was he ill?
They say he had a seizure, and then he passed in his sleep.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. A good guy, a little older.
Okay.
But
Okay.
I was young. Couldn't
You
tell
was
me
young.
nothing.
You was young and little hot mama.
That's it. He was settled. He was everything I wanted, and I just wasn't ready. So I have nothing bad to say. That one was on me.
Okay. Okay. I love it when people take responsibility. Yeah.
Oh yeah,
You
yeah,
can
that
walk
was
away
on.
free when you take responsibility.
Yeah.
Okay. So when the high number two came along.
Ooh, look, I struggle with number two. Look at I say, Lord, you didn't punish me for doing number one. That's what I always say. But I know he don't work like that. But I always kept it in the back of my head. I said, Lord, you didn't punish me with this one. Number two came along. Number two, ooh, to God be the
How'd you
glory.
meet him? How'd you meet him?
I've been knowing him from high school. You know, we was
Okay.
high school kid friends. When I came from college, I had seen him, and it was on after that. They said it was on like Donkey Kong. Now it was on after that. Yeah, and that was a lot. That was experience.
Okay.
Because of that, you know how they say cause and effect? Because that happened, this is happening. So
Okay.
I learned a lot. I think this was experience is the best teacher, they say. So I've learned a lot from that.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
Well,
We wasn't evenly yoked. I already knew that.
right.
But you know how we want stuff, but that's not what God wants for us.
Right, right, right. And I often tell people, when we were younger, it was told experience is the best teacher. But in actuality, experience is not the best teacher. Wisdom is, instruction is.
Yeah, that's it. I agree.
Yeah, I agree like
I agree.
100, right? Well, I wish
Oh,
I would have listened. I would have
yeah.
got off a little better than
Oh,
trying it out.
Jesus.
Okay, so the second one was out the window.
Oh, yeah.
And so how you met the third one?
My God. They say they have a scripture, and I have to say this in the book of Habakkuk. It tells you to write your vision down, make it plain and clear. I had been known him from growing up, but he was too old back then for me. And we used
Okay.
to see each other, and we may have flirted, but nothing else. And one day I said, Lord, I'm ready to cuddle. That's what I told the Lord. I said, everybody cuddling this cold. Where's my cuddle buddy? I'm ready.
Uh-huh.
I'm willing and I'm able. That's what I was saying to myself. I kid you not. It was January the 15th, and I told the Lord that. And I seen him coming out of his work truck. And I
Uh-huh.
said, Wilbur, that's you? Because I knew him. And
Yes.
he was like, yeah, that's me. And I tell you, it was on after that. And we exchanged numbers, and he said, I'm frying fish. And I said, okay. And he said, well, when you coming over? And I said, well, when you finish. She said, no, you can come over now. And I came over. And the rest is history. I never left. I never left. I said, Lord, this the one. I had just asked the man upstairs, well, I'm ready to cuddle. He said, this the one right here. He didn't know, he didn't understand, because he didn't understand the calling I had on my life.
Right.
I believe God is something, he's very biased when it comes to me. That's just my opinion. And if I ask, it shall be given, because he won't hold nothing from me,
Right.
because what I'm doing for him. So I said, this the one. And he wasn't thinking it. He said, this girl crazy. We taking trips. I got the key to his house the next day. I said, I told you I'm not leaving. I never left. I moved in the same day.
Okay.
Yeah.
So we got married. So do we have any children?
I do have kids. I have 4. 2 are deceased, 2 are living.
2 are deceased. Oh my
Yes.
God. I'm so sorry. So was that an elder child, younger child, middle child?
My oldest just recently got killed. It'll be almost 3 years.
Wow. I'm sorry. I think that's the little bit I heard of when you were sharing.
Yeah.
So what happened with the first before we get to the oldest one?
The first one will be my middle kid. He will be 14 now. It's called abruption. I had him, but my card and his card wasn't attached. He came out having a seizure. He was 7 pounds. He was a big boy.
Oh.
Yeah, I had a whole full term, and I knew something. God had given me that discernment to know, because I just started praying. I said, I'm praying something hard. What is going on? I remember them tying my arms up, and when you have an emergency pregnancy, they cut you up and down. They
Oh, you
cut me
had
up and
had
down.
an up and down C-section?
Yeah, to hurry up and get him out, because every time I had a contraction, his heart rate went down.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So you know how mom, grandma, aunties, and uncles said, don't be lifting. This is what I got out of it. Don't be lifting over your head, or don't be doing X, Y, and Z. My card and his card wasn't attached, and they didn't see that until it was time for me to go in. But he was a healthy boy. He lasted 8 days. I did have a funeral for him, and I think warning comes before destruction.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
Wow. So he lived 8 days.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So were you a believer at that time? Were you a Christian
Yeah.
at that time?
Yeah. My dad
What
kept us in
was your
church. We
feeling?
had
What was your feeling? Honestly, what was your
my
feeling?
feelings. I was all over the place because that was the planned one. I had my oldest and I had the child from my second husband. But he didn't have any more kids. My first son wasn't for my second husband. So he only had that one that was for him. And I said, this is the last one, buddy. So let's go ahead and get this popping. So I got
Oh,
pregnant and this was the one that was planned. And
wow.
his name was Melvin Noah. And I heard the voice of the Lord said, completed. The
Mm,
number 8 is the number of completion. And he was on a machine and he was getting stiff.
the baby.
Yeah, yeah. IVs in his arm, his tongue was, everything was just shutting down. It was, the doctor explained it to me, it's like a car. They will take him off the machine, he will, but then he'll stop.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, so 8 days he lived and he was very healthy. He was a healthy baby. He just came out having a seizure and he just went. And I kept saying, Lord, I must be on Lifetime. This don't happen to just me speaking to
Right.
God. I said, it's
Yeah,
not
you
happening to no black person like me, Lord. Am I on TV?
uh-huh.
I didn't carry this boy all this time and you take him from me.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah. Wow. So your oldest son, okay. What happened with that?
Okay, my oldest son came from college. He was in Minnesota. Um, he just like, well, this not me, behind. Every time I call him when in school, I'm like, well, where you at? He at the studio, he's singing, he rapping. He said, I'm coming home, ma. And
Mhm.
that was kind of far from me too.
Okay.
Being way out there. So I
How
said,
long
okay.
had he been away from school? How long at school? How long had he been away?
The first semester, I want to say he was out there maybe a year.
Okay.
So I said, okay, and we call him Paul. We call him Paul one up because he always say, I'm never down, ma. And I
Uh-huh.
believe he just really, he exceeded everything he wanted to do here. Because if he said he wanted to do it, he was doing it. I
Uh-huh.
said, Mom, I'm not going to no high school if I don't go to St. Aug. And I said, just honestly, I said, no, I got you two brothers. I can't afford that. And God would just always make a way. His dad was incarcerated and I never known I was getting child support. It came, that's why I said God is an on-time God. He said, he called him one day all out the blue. And he said, your mama have all that money for you? And I said, don't listen to your dad. All you know in this line, with money. And a child support card I didn't even know I had. It came in the mail. And
Wow.
his tuition and everything was on that card.
On the card. Wow.
I'd never forget it. I'd
So
never forget it.
it was your husband his father at that time, the
Yeah.
child support was going on there and you had no knowledge
No
of it.
idea. See,
Wow.
God will hold some things up and give it to you just when it needs to be given.
Yes. When you're ready
And I
for
believe
it.
everything he wanted to do on this earth, he did.
Wow.
Everything. He said he gonna work here, he working there. He said, Mom, I'm gonna be rapping, I'm gonna do this. And I said, no, you're not, because I wasn't a fan of him doing that. You know, we want what we want for our kids.
Right.
He
Right.
did everything he wanted to do.
So
And
how did he pass?
somebody killed him. Matter of fact, we went to court today,
Oh, wow.
9 o'clock court.
Was he
A
like
young,
in the wrong place, wrong time, or was it affiliation with somebody else or?
it was affiliation with someone else. He was in a car with a girl and 3 kids. You may have heard of this story in the East. 3 kids got shot and killed. 2 were just shot. So the young guy shot 5 people. 3 of them was killed. My son was in a car with a young lady, and him and this young lady were like best friends because they both were dating sisters. The young lady was dating the sister, and he was
Right.
dating the sister as well. But she survived. She just got shot in the leg. She thought Hassan, which is his name is Hassan, but we call him Paul. She thought he was with him, but he was right there on the ground dead.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
So tell me, Shevelle, when you got the news, tell the good folks what was going on inside of you in your natural man.
In my natural mind, I tell you, God just have his way with me. And I mean this. I already knew something was going to happen because just before that day, let me just tell you, I have a gift of seeing and a gift of knowing. So before that day came, I called 5 people and I talked to 5 different people. I said, y'all talk to Paul, something going on. Before it happened, I knew something was about to happen.
Mhm.
And I seen him in a different light. And I said, y'all talk to Paul. What's going on with him? And that day when I got the phone call, I knew because I slept. I never even talked to the kid. None that day.
Mhm.
He talked to everybody he wanted to talk to. He never talked to me. He died 3 days before my birthday. And I remember him saying, Mom, I'm going to take care of you. I was all over the place, but then I wasn't all over the place because grief don't have a time. That's one thing about grief. It don't have no time because at first I was like angry. I wanted to kill. Then I was like, I don't deserve to be happy. You wouldn't see me smiling. You wouldn't see me talking. I'm like, I'm drinking, but I'm not getting drunk. I'm just drinking. I mean, white liquor was my friend. And then I went to mental health. Is a place called Oceans.
Mhm.
I was treated there Monday through Thursday.
So back up. Also, okay, so when you after your son passed and you were trying to process that,
Yeah.
and were you angry with God? Were you okay? Were your mental? What was going on there?
I was really upset with him. I was upset with him, but then he was upset with me because he had already told me he had a calling on my life. He had to get my attention some kind of way. So I started like compromising with God. Like, why you just didn't shoot him in the feet? Why you didn't shoot him in the hand? And he said, you would stop what you was doing. Because everybody know me. When I say I'm known on the West Bank for, I was in 2 social and pleasure clubs. I was the president of one, which is the Saint Social and Pleasure Club. I ran the pool, the Super Bowl. I ran everything. It's nothing that I didn't do. Let me just say that I was big and bad enough to do.
So
I'm in every.
You was out there.
I'm out there.
You was out there.
Yeah.
And so God was calling you to himself.
And I was like, Jonah, I'm not doing that. You got the wrong one. I'm hiding in the boat and all this tornadoes and winds and everybody looking like, who God looking for? Like he surely ain't looking for me right now. I'm enjoying what I'm doing.
Right.
You know, we enjoy, and that's what sin is, selfishness. Right. Enjoying. I was married and I had me a side man. I've been ran with that man 7 years. I thought I was just living. Ain't doing temporary life, temporary living, temporary joy.
Yeah. So at what point did you, I know you knew about God because you grew up knowing about God. Yeah. At what point did you actually surrender and receive Jesus as Lord and Savior? What point did you surrender? When he got your attention, or was it before that? Talk to the people out there.
When he got my attention. Because, you know, and I say this, a lot of people play church. We go there, we go in the same way, we come out the same way. We go there, we like the choir, we like how the pastor preaching or whatever, but we're not living it. There's a difference when you know the Bible. Because, you know, you have a lot of people say, I know the Bible, but I'm not living it. Right. It's all bark and no bite. It's nothing there. So he said, I want your attention. And I said, Lord, you got it now. Right. He said, I'm going to see him one day. I seen him before he passed. And I had a good friend of mine, and she would always say, y'all may not know her. She's going to tell you everything that happened to her son. I could tell you everywhere they shot him at and what they did him. And everybody's mouth open because God allowed me to see it. They didn't want me to know. I never had seen the paperwork afterwards. I didn't need to see it because I knew. I always did have a relationship with God, but it wasn't to this extent. I knew he had called me to do much more than what I was doing. And you're not going to be like lukewarm. You ain't going to play with God. He said, that's enough. You ain't going to pick me up and put me down. You're going to do this thing. You're going to do it right. You know, we have a lot of people that pretend, and a lot of Christian folks being traditional and doing things that our grandmother, grandfather, auntie would do, but not really surrendering. I give my life to Christ. I give my life to Christ. I don't want to do nothing but please him. We please others, but we don't please him. Right.
So awesome. Wow. Okay. So your son's passed, and it's been about a year now?
September just passed. He got killed September the 10th. My birthday, September the 13th. Wow. It just made 3 years.
3 years. 3 years. Okay. Well, what I'm going to say is, I'm going to thank you for your transparency, but I'd like for you to, what would you say to the single mothers or married, it doesn't matter, the mothers that have had a child and they've lost that child and they're still stuck? what would you say to them?
Honestly, and I just spoke to somebody last night. I would tell them grief don't have a time on it. We have to reach people right where they at. So if you at that point right now that you're angry, I have to respect that you're angry, because again, we're fleshly made. I have to respect that. But I just want you to know that you're going to come from that anger. And because that happened, this is about to happen. It's a cause and effect. And I know that God just something, he's amazing. And I'm going to talk about him all the time. If it wouldn't have been for him. And I'll tell any mother that because of this is happening, because of his death, I can live. So it's something that God, and this is me spiritually, it's something that God is seeking or needing you for. It's something that you're not doing. It's something that you should be doing. Like it's for God to get the attention of you, and maybe for you to get the attention of others. And remember that this life here is temporary. There is another place. There is a heaven. There is a place called paradise that we will see. And you're going to see your child one day. I advise each mother to really genuinely get to know Jesus. I mean, because I can't say every day is going to get better. I went to go speak to a lady and God showed me. I was going there for one particular mother. And I promise you, I thought this kid had just passed and it had been 8 years. And it just was preparing me that grief don't have no time. 8 years and she still struggled with getting out the bed.
Wow.
She still struggled. She said she go to work and she come home.
Wow. Yeah. Yeah. So in encouraging those ladies, what would you say? You've given them what you had if they're stuck. Now I want you to give them what you have if they don't even know they're stuck.
Yeah.
Sometimes we don't know we're stuck.
We don't. Yeah.
So what would you say? Give them some symptoms of being stuck.
Symptoms of being stuck. And you know, we perish because of the lack of knowledge. So we stuck because we're not knowing. I just would really want them to get around because there's certain groups out there, it's different organizations, but make sure you connect with the right one. Because I was in a group at first and it just was like a pity party, a boo-hooing, and you know, we're not helping each other. We're just here and everybody's crying and it's nothing. There's no cause and effect. It's nothing. I just would really want them to get even with a family member, get counseling. Because, you know, as Black African Americans, we think that counseling, you know, we shouldn't do it, but I advise people to do it because I did go through counseling. I did go through, I had a good family, a good support system, and I believe that helps a lot. And I believe in the power of prayer. And I said that earlier. I remember Blake's used to always say much prayer, much power, little prayer, little power, no prayer, no power at all. I mean, you'll have that alone time because, you know, the phone calls will stop and it'll just be you.
Yes.
It'll just be you and him. When I say him, it's you and God. That's your time right there. You know, and you can fall and go to anything. It's just temporary. I went to liquor and I mean, I would have bottle after bottle and I never seen that like this. I still couldn't get full. I still had I just couldn't believe. I would stand by the door and I would wait to see if he would come. I mean, I was doing it repeatedly, like standing by the door, and I kept saying, "This is a dream. You couldn't have took him." Just time, and I know it's sensitive.
Right.
Yeah.
Amen. Thank you so much. Thank you for your transparency.
Yeah.
YouTube land, y'all asked for it, so there it is. Another mother that lost her child, 2 children, and went through the devastating effects of anger and bitterness. And God brought her to a place of freedom where she's freeing other women. So I'm going to say this is DTM Real Talk. And if you don't have a relationship with Jesus, you need to get one. Bible says, y'all already know, call upon the name of the Lord and you shall be saved. And this is DTM Real Talk. And we're just doing what? Keeping it real. And we'll see y'all next week.
Thanks for watching DTM Real Talk. Be sure to join us for more conversation. And oh yeah, don't forget to hit that like button, share, and subscribe while you're there.